Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Insight. While I was in the kitchen baking up a fresh batch of homemade chocolate chip cookies, I was also cooking up some ideas about content to upload on the internet. So I was thinking, how can I help people figure out what their day-to-day job will look like without actually having any type of experience, like an internship or a day on the job with like a parent or a friend visiting the office, or some type of first-hand experience. And it came to me, LinkedIn Learn. LinkedIn Learn is an online learning platform with resources to help individuals learn software, creative, and business skills. You might be saying to yourself, Dr. Loso, that's cool and all, but how in the world is LinkedIn Learn going to help me figure out what I'm going to be doing on my job day in and day out? And that's a good question. So if you go into LinkedIn Learn, you'll see that it has thousands of courses for all different types of careers. So if we look at something like a software engineer, for example, LinkedIn Learn has probably hundreds of courses there where you can go and take to see what type of skills you will need. You have instructors and professionals in the industry going through these courses step by step, showing you how to do specific things. So you can start at a beginner level, work your way up to intermediate and even an expert. But with that being said, you get to see exactly what the software looks like to actually use it. So for example, when I started out with my bachelor's degree, I had to take Visual Basic, and it is something that I would absolutely not do. Some of you all are probably out there laughing, thinking that Visual Basic is, and it probably is today, a very basic thing, but it's just something, it was so tedious for me. It's just something that I knew that I, didn't like. I got my B out of the course and that was it for me. It was no more programming or coding for me. So you can do that with LinkedIn Learn. You can go in here, you can view these courses and see if you're more of a creative person, and software engineer might not be the thing for you because it is very tedious. You have to go in here and code, and if there's an error, you have to go in there and go through all these different lines of code to try to help you or to figure out where the error is at. And that's just, to my understanding, it could be much simpler now, but it just wasn't for me. So you can see that, and if it's something that is creative, you're not a very creative person, you're more of an analytical, procedural type of person, you can see if those skills that are required on the job, the primary skills specifically, are going to call for one of those type of skills, or I guess workflow processes that you're not into or not good at. You also with the LinkedIn Learn courses, they sometimes have professionals talk about the general overview of what that job role is like. So in the beginning of specific learning path, they would have maybe an introduction that talks about what it is like to be a graphic designer, and then they'll go into talking about the different skills. So it might start off with something like Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator and get you started with those foundational skills that you would need to work in those two different software programs. So definitely check out LinkedIn Learn to get a better understanding of what you will be doing in your job roles. Like I said, there's hundreds if not thousands of different careers on there that you can look into. And a tip that I would give you all, as somebody who has been in college and the struggle is real, I would say go in there, and if you can't afford to buy all the different softwares that you might need, pick out maybe 3 or 4 different careers and then go into LinkedIn Learn and see what different types of specific careers are in maybe engineering or hardware engineering or graphic design. You can get into a very niche type of job. So go in there and search for those things, and then go in there and start looking at the courses to see what type of software you would need, and sign up for trial versions of the software. So a lot of companies will give trial versions of the software, so you can kind of make a schedule for your software. So if it's something that's for a month, you might juggle that with 2 different softwares that you can go through the courses in that month and try those 2 software programs out. And if it's a couple of weeks, you might just want to focus on that software program and see if you like it and can get the swing of it. Also, I would say look at things that you think that you might not necessarily like or not necessarily into or don't know that much about, and also that could help you. You could just discover something that you didn't think that you would like, and is like the best thing for you. So for me, example of that, I wanted to be I changed my major a lot, so Initially, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but when I went to college, I went for business. Long story short, I ended up as an instructional designer, so that helped me combine all the skills or all the things that I was interested in and I think good at together into one career field. So keep that in mind while you're going through the site, and hopefully this was informative to you all. Make sure that you follow me on all the social medias, turn on the notifications, and share my content. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.